Hello and welcome to Fast Break Bets, sponsored by the DRF Sportsbook and Thrive Fantasy for May 3rd. How is everyone doing? My name is Erik. I am eTalk21 Sports. I am solo today. Gino is off doing Kentucky Derby prep, so this is going to be a quick episode. I am recording this. It is about 2:15, 2:30-ish East Coast time. Obviously, we don't know the state of Joel Embiid, so I'm going to tell you guys what to do if Embiid plays versus he doesn't play. Obviously, my thought process is this. You have to take the Celtics here, but how I'm going to do it, it's going to be a little bit different. I'm just going to be playing the bounce back spot of the Celtics in the first quarter. I expect them to come out and blitz Harden. I expect them to force Maxey, Melton, the other guys to play him. That was an all-time playoff great performance we saw from James Harden last game when he hit that game-winning three, scored over 30 points. It was a magnificent game, and it just kind of makes me sad when you watch that, knowing how good James Harden would have been if he would have been serious and took care of his body like the other greats have done. LeBron, Giannis, just to name a few. But I really like the Celtics here in this bounce back spot. So I'm going to play the first quarter right now. But the thing is this is the tricky game, okay? Obviously, Embiid tweeted out, I'm back. So that he's kind of saying he's going to go. This on DRF was all the way up to up at 10. Now we've seen it's drifted back down to 8. So the sports books have kind of adjusted. This will probably be a 6 if Embiid plays. So they're kind of in that middle spot because let's be realistic. It doesn't make sense for Embiid's going to play. So if you think Embiid's going to play, you're going to wait before you lock in that Celtics first quarter number. If you think Embiid's not going to play, this line's obviously going to rise up. Right now, when you're listening to this, you lock in that. Obviously, I think he's going to be a game time decision, but it's the same as the Butler. It doesn't really make sense when you have a knee injury and you have someone with Embiid with his injury history to rush him back and play. So I really think he's not going to play. So if there's been no word when you guys are listening to this at 5, I would definitely lock in Embiid Celtics first quarter minus the points. Next one, I'm going to go to, this is a trend that I found that is pretty interesting. I'm going to be taking the Celtics here for the first half, okay? Teams that lost the first game, that are coming off a loss this season in the playoffs, the halftime ATS numbers, they're 60% against the numbers. That means we're seeing a more locked in performance. They're more into their sets. They've made some adjustments. They're trying to take away what the team did before. The last 2 years, that's 59%. I got it at 5 earlier this morning. I'll be fully transparent, but obviously it's dropped down to 4.5 because they're kind of, like I said, they're in this dead zone with Embiid. What is Embiid going to do? Is Embiid going to play? Is Embiid's not going to play? We really have no idea what Joel Embiid is going to do. So we're kind of, like I said, in that lock zone, kind of waiting to see what Joel Embiid is going to do. But personally speaking, I think it would be foolish for Joel Embiid to play in this game. And if the Sixers know anything, which, let's face it, it's a Sixers, so who knows, I think he is not going to play. Now, I do have a player prop that I absolutely love here. I locked in Jaylen Brown over 24.5 points. When we just kind of look at it, 14 out of the 21 games he played this year, after a loss, he went over this total. So after a loss, Brown looks to be aggressive in the regulars. This happened in the regular season. And in that time span, he averaged 26.6 points per game. And then the 2 losses before, against the Hawks, he came back. He went over 30 in both of them. So I really like Jaylen Brown to be a little bit offensive, to just initiate the offense. Both Brown and Tatum were a little bit passive out there. So like I said, I think he is going to look to be aggressive, look to negotiate the offense, and look to attack the rack. So those are my 3 plays for the Celtics and 76ers game. Celtics first quarter, Celtics for the first half, and Jaylen Brown over the 24.5 points. I'll be honest, the Celtics team has done nothing for me to trust them to cover a full-time spread. So that's why I'm staying away from the full-time spread. Now, of course, we are sponsored by Thrive. So now let's shift our attention over to Thrive and let's see what Thrive, what Thrive I am going to be locking in. As always, Thrive. If you're not using Thrive, in my eyes, you are really missing out. You get the extra 3.2 to 1 advantage. It is just a great thing when you do these parlay props. We're going to go down a little bit. Obviously, we're going to be locked in. There's only one game on the slate, and we're going to go down. We're going to take Robert Williams over 14.5 points and rebounds. This is just me as a coach saying Robert Williams is more athletic than Al Horford. They're going to use him in the pick and roll situations to help defend the pick and roll with Harden. And also, if Embiid does play, they're going to need him out there for his rebounds and his length. So in my contest, so either way, I like Robert Williams over the 14.5. I'm going to go Jaylen Brown over 30.5 points and rebounds. Like I said, he went over this 14 to 21 times during the regular season. Both after an L, he went over this total of 30.5. I think he can score easily over 30 points in this game. So I absolutely love Jaylen Brown over 30.5. Now I need to get something from the 76ers side. And look, I'm just going to go back to it. I'm going to take Tobias Harris. It's ticked all the way down to 23.5. I think the 76ers really need Tobias Harris, especially with the uncertainty of Joel Embiid. So I'm going to take Tobias Harris over the 23.5 points, rebounds, and assists. There you have it. Quick hitter episode for Fast Break Bets for May 3rd. Hopefully you guys tailed yesterday, we made some money with Jared Vanderbilt and the Lakers and the Knicks covering the game. And the Steph Curry under the 32.5 points. Hope you guys made some money. As always, Gino and I will be back here tomorrow breaking down the NBA slate. Make sure to go over to Thrive Fantasy, use promo code Gino, Gino, while making your first deposit. Get a 100% deposit match, roll over 4 times. And if you're in Iowa, make sure you go to the DRF Sportsbook, use promo code FAST100. That way they know Gino and I sent you. Thanks for tuning in, guys.